يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وآمنوا برسوله يؤتكم كفلين من رحمته.
How does a person making dua, what does he do with his gaze while he's making dua? There's a sharif, Sama' Qibla of Dua. The sky is the Qibla of those making dua, or dua. It's offered to the verbal noun. Jazakumullah khairan. Raising it to the sky, and I mentioned my preference, if it's daytime out, to sit back from the wall that has the window in it, about 3 feet or so, about 1 meter, and look at the sky. Even if you're in a city, you can look up the sky. You often see the sky from the window when you're that close to the window, and so this is certainly. We mentioned the words of Sheikh Abdurrahman, "Uzkur rabbaka idha nasit." Remember your Lord when you forget, from the Quran, Muqtabis min al-Quran. And so Sheikh Abdurrahman used to say, idha nasita ghayra. Remember your Lord when you forget, when you forget everything besides. And one of the ancient Greeks, I was trying to think of who it was, Coleridge mentions him in his essays. He said that the sky, he wrote a book called Anti-Mnemonics, M-O-N-I-C-S. Anti-mnemonics, you know what mnemonics was? Mnemonics is the science of how to memorize things. And so he wrote a book called Anti-Mnemonics with that title. And he did all of the things that make people forget. And one of the things that was high on the list was the sky. So if you look at the sky, you tend to forget your troubles, and you tend to forget your worries, and you tend to forget everything else. Perhaps this is the reason that people that have occupations that have them outdoors all the time live longer than everybody else, because they're underneath the sky. Nas'Allah tawfiq wa taysir, for whatever reason. Nas'Allah tawfiq to accept our du'as and remind us of Him. The purpose of du'a, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has legislated du'a, is to focus your heart on Him. And so this is why we mentioned these details. And you should always find a way to focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember sitting with Sheikh Abdul Wakil in Narubi when we were reading it, said that it's better to have one's eyes open in the salat than to close them during the salat. And then he mentions the words of some of the fuqaha. He said, "Illa kana aksha." He said, except if closing the eyes is more conducive to focus and devotion upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.